Alright mates, how's it going? Guess what? We're doing chapter 20 of Tides of Darkness by Aaron Rosenberg. Here's a bit more setup, and then the final two videos are all fights and yelling and stuff. Let's go!
Turalyon.
Turalyon glanced up, all excited and stuff. He recognised that voice. 'Twas Lothar.
Good to see you, lad. They said I'd find you here.
They?
The elves. I ran across Illyria and Theron as I made my way north. They told me what happened at Capital City, and that you brought the rest of the army this way, chasing after the rest of the Horde. Good job, man.
I had a lot of help. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what happened. Turalyon then briefly informed Lothar of the battle outside Capital City, how things had looked pretty grim until the Horde suddenly cheesed it, for seemingly no reason, and he told of the report he'd received from Admiral Proudmoore.
And we've been chasing them ever since.
Did you hear about Perenod?
Yeah. How a man could turn against his own race, I'll never understand. But thanks to Trollbane, we don't have to worry about Alterac no more.
What about the hinterlands?
Orc free. Took us a while to find all of them. Some were burrowed pretty deep, carved themselves out little homes. But we got them in the end. The Wildhammers are still patrolling to make sure, of course.
The elves are headed back home as well, to clear out Quel'Thalas. The orcs seem to have left, but the trolls may still be hiding up there. Wouldn't want to be them when the rangers arrive. Hey, where's Uther? And the other paladins?
I sent them up to Lordaeron. They'll make sure that region's safe again, and then they'll follow after us. Uther would probably be upset if he misses any more big battles.
Turalyon nodded. His fellow paladin probably would be upset, especially since it was really starting to feel like this war was finally coming to an end. The Horde were now small and desperate. Oh hey Lothar, long time no see. So, what are we thinking? Orcs are going to try and hole up here in Khazmodan?
No, they'd have the dwarves to reckon with if they did that. Ironforge still remains unconquered. The dwarves will be twitching for a chance to reclaim their mountains and strike back at the orcs.
Then we should give them that chance. Both Lothar and Khadgar turned to Turalyon. Let's go to Ironforge. Use the Griffin Riders to keep tabs on the Horde's path. We free the dwarves, and then they'll hold the mountains. Prevent the Horde from coming back this way.
That's a good plan. Let's do it. Let the troops know. We'll begin our march in the morning. But for now, I need some bloody sleep. I'm getting too old for this shit.
However, Lothar gave Turalyon one final glance before retiring for the night.
You've handled yourself and the troops well, lad, as I knew you would. Lane, you remind me of him. You have his courage.
And then Lothar buggered off, and Turalyon kind of stood there in silence, a little bit stunned. Looks like you've won his respect after all. Shut up. The following day, the Alliance forces reached the colossal doors of Ironforge and found a whole bunch of orcs pounding against them.
Don't let up! Drive them back against the rocks!
After a short while of fighting, and just as Lothar had hoped, the doors to the Dwarven Kingdom swung open, and an army of angry dwarves poured out, with hammers and axes and boomsticks and stuff. And with their assistance, the battle was over pretty fast.
Our thanks. I'm Moradin Bronzebeard, brother to King Magni. The dwarves of Ironforge are in your debt. No problem. Anduin Lothar, commander of the Alliance. We were happy to help. Our goal is to rid all lands of the Horde and their influence.
Aye, as it should be.
Alliance, you say? 'Twas you who sent the missives to us months ago. From Lordaeron? Indeed.
Lothar realised Terenas must have sent messengers here, as well as Quel'Thalas. The King of Lordaeron really had left no potential ally untouched.
We banded together for this common cause.
Whither are you bound now? A second dwarf approached. His face was a lot less wrinkly than Moradin's, but he shared similar features.
This is my other brother, Bran. Well, we're following the remainder of the Horde. Many of them have already fallen to us. We're seeking to finish the job and end this war.
The brothers looked at each other and nodded. Count us in. Many of our kin will remain here in the mountains to reclaim our ancestral strongholds and clear Khazmodan. But we'll bring some lads and join your alliance. Make sure these orcs didn't trouble us again. We're welcome to help. Lothar had met these kind of dwarves once or twice before, back in Stormwind. If these Bronzebeards were as good in combat as their Wildhammer cousins, they'd be a valuable addition indeed. Good. We'll send someone to inform our brother. He'll catch up with us with supplies. Which way did the Horde go? Lothar then glanced to Khadgar, who just kind of shrugged and pointed south. A short time later,
Lothar, Turallion, Khadgar and the rest were all sat around a campfire when Kurdran Wildhammer returned from a bit of scouting.
They be heading to Blackrock Spire. Blackrock? You sure?
Turallion had noticed that the Bronzebeards and Wildhammers didn't seem to get along amazingly well. They didn't hate each other, more like quarrelsome siblings.
Of course I'm sure. I followed them, didn't I? Maybe you'd like to borrow some griffins and see for yourself.
Kurdran chuckled to himself as the Bronzebeards backed away a little bit. He knew full well that Bronzebeard dwarves were about as fond of flying as Wildhammers were of going underground.
Blackrock Spire. It's a strong position. Good vantage all around. Solid fortifications. Easy to defend. Whoever their leader is, he knows what he's doing. This isn't going to be easy.
Aye, and it'd be cursed as well. The rest of the dwarves present all nodded. Our dark iron cousins. They built that fortress, but something far darker lives there now, beneath the surface.
Well, if there's something else there, it hasn't disturbed the orcs. They'll fall back there, and getting past their defences is going to be a problem.
But we can do it. We have the numbers and the skill. Lothar smiled at his lieutenant.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge, but anything worth doing usually is.
Lothar was about to say something else when he was interrupted by the sound of plate mail creaking. And then a bloke stepped towards them.
Uther, my lord.
We came as soon as we could. So Lordaeron's clean then?
It is.
My fellows and I made sure of it.
Excellent. You've arrived just in time, mate. We just learned the orcs' final position. We'll be there within
5 days, provided they've left no surprises along the way. If you're going to Blackrock, we'll be going with you. We'll not leave you to face that lot alone.
The Wildhammers will stay with you as well. Altogether we outnumber them, though not by a large margin. I don't need a large margin, just a fair fight. 5 days then. In 5 days, we finish this.
And we're leaving it there! That's 5 days for them, not for me. I wouldn't be able to bash out the final 2 chapters and epilogue in the next 5 days. But yeah, chapter 21, chapter 22, a very small epilogue, and then we're done. As usual, links in the description for the book, my Patreon page, my Discord, all of that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!